back to the channel. We gotta put brakes on this.
So this bad ride is our 2005 Suzuki LT80 two-stroke, which means the oil and the gas burn together to make really cool sounds and high RPM and blue smoke out the back. Pretty much as we purchased it several years ago, somebody prior to us put an aftermarket little pipe on it, and then we've got some aftermarket bars on the side. We put 2.5-inch wheel spacers on it to give it a little bit more stability, and we just been riding it. My daughter's been the primary rider of this, and then we keep it around for company, family, extended family, that kind of stuff, friends of the family. Anyway, she's getting older. My son's getting older. He's graduated up to that, which is actually, we're moving up again one of these days. And we asked my daughter, who is just turned 13, you know, what do you want to, we're not keeping both of these. Which one? This one is a 2013 Polaris Outlaw 90 that we bought for Jalen new when he was 7 years old, and he rocked that for a number of years. He hadn't graduated up to the bigger one yet when Josie came along, and we got an opportunity to buy this guy. So we had two, and then we did go ahead and bump Jalen up a size, but we kept all three around. Anyway, bottom line, she says the one I want to ride is this one. This one we're going to put on the marketplace very soon. So it's, I mean, we put the jumper box on it and it started. It's been sitting all winter, but before we put it away, it needed a little brake action. And I'm one of those guys that, you know, a lot of folks, and I don't blame them one bit, get stuff that starts to need repairs and they say, next guy or gal come deal with that. I don't do that. I want to make sure that, you know, this thing's pretty much 100% before we ship it on to the next owner. It needed mostly back brakes. Front brakes have some adjustment left in them, but on the flea bay, it's only like $10 more to get all the brakes. So today we are doing all the brakes, and while we're doing that, we're going to boil the battery a little bit and see if we can't bring some life back into the battery. And once we get that done, then it's just a matter of cleaning this bad right up, and it'll be on the marketplace in just, you know, a few days. So if you're in the Heartland area, Nebraska especially, and you're in the market for a great little starter quad, watch the marketplace. This one's going to come up really soon. It is a two-stroke 2005. We do have a title, so that's bonus. And yeah, you can turn down, where's it at? We can turn down the power a little bit with this screw. Now, but an awesome little quad to ride. Handles my 210 plus, depending on how many snacks I have a day. Handles me, handles all my kids. It's a lot more stable since we widened out the stance. And after today, it's gonna have brand new brakes. Let's get to work. We're gonna do rears first because they're a little more involved, but not horrible. And then we'll do fronts. So first thing we gotta do before we put new brakes on is we've got to unadjust the old brakes. And that happens up here for the fronts. We're going to take them back and take some of the slack out of these. You just unscrew this little jam collar and then screw this back in. There's one for the left and one for the right. And we'll give them about, looks like 3/4 to 1 turn out, and then we'll jam them back up. And then we put new shoes in down here. As those shoes wear in, then you loosen this up, this jam nut, and you screw these lefty-loosey out, and that takes up some of the free play in that cable, and that's how you adjust your front brakes. Now on the rears, what we'll do back here, and you can see, here's where we adjust the rear brake. This arm down here pulls forward to give you brakes. Well, here's the amount of adjustment we have on this, and we're already using up all that. We've just got a little bit left up here, and our pedal over here, you know, it goes all the way down before it gets excited about stopping anything. So we're gonna back this guy all the way off. I think we pretty much have to take the cable off of this arm anyway. I get a little confused between the Hondas and the Kawasaki's and the Polarises and the golf carts and the Suzuki's. I don't think this is too bad, but we're gonna tear into it. I know we have to take this wheel and axle off, but I think on this one, after you get the dust cover off and these two nuts off, I think the drum will pull off without pulling the whole rear end apart. On that darn Honda over there, you got to strap on the surgical gloves because you got to tear down that whole rear end pretty much to do a brake job. Enough rambling already. Let's get to work. Check them all. This spacer came undone with the wheel, and I'm telling you, these have been on here for 4 or 5 years, but that one's tight. These two are just a little loose. So while we're in the maintenance mood, we're going to check all of them and make sure that they're good for the next people. What's happening is these two jam nuts right here they're coming off, but they're not unjamming. The easiest way I found is I don't like clamping onto here to get these to break loose. So you can take a pipe wrench over here and you might get just a little scuff on the steel, but pipe wrench holds this side of the axle, and then you can come over here with a croissant or the appropriate sized wrench to get these two off. But we had to back them out together for a little ways. Now we're going to get a big pair of channels on here and see if we can't break those two loose and spin them off. Two. And then we should be able just to pull this drum off. And there's an inner seal and there's an outer seal. We cleaned up the outer seal last time. Looks like that one's still holding on, and the inner seal looks pretty good. We're going to clean all this up. We are not going to replace the seal in here. It's not leaking. We're going to go ahead and replace these shoes though, and the drum itself looks to be in really good shape. So let's get some new shoes in there. Okay, easiest way to get these off is you just take them and taco them. They come right off. Need to get some of this brake dust out of here. Again, these shoes aren't bad. We'll probably give them to the new owner. These haven't been in there very long. We'll probably give them to the new owner as spares. But all right, we should have what we need in here. What do we do? We got 3 boxes. That's good. 2 smaller ones for the front, and this should be the rears. Oh, these ones came with new springs. The last time I did this, it didn't come with new springs. That's pretty nice. So these are just ready to slap on here, guys and gals. You should be able to just muscle them on there. Like so. And then when this guy comes forward, this rotates and spreads the shoes apart. See that? How that works? Right there. And that's on. Now we'll put just a little bit of grease on our seal surfaces on our drum. And we'll just slide our nice clean drum right back on there. And we'll have to, let's see, we're still going to have a little bit of adjustment here. Okay, so new shoes are on there, but we still have a little bit of an issue, and that is where this arm was originally. By the time we get good brake pedal, we're halfway through that adjustment again. And we've got everything backed off as far as here. So what we can do in that case is we can come down here. This is splined. This, I'm gonna call it the actuator, or the shaft that turns to actuate the shoes is splined. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this arm, slide it off, click it back one more spline so it starts out down here, and then we'll end up farther back in our adjustment to begin with. I'll show you what I mean here. All right, so everything's back together. We did go ahead and blue Loctite the spacers on both sides. Everything looks good. All of our brakes are back together. We just have to go through this adjustment now. And like I said, now with our arm back here, the next owner of this is gonna have a lot more adjustment to these. Now, truth be told, we probably could have made this adjustment and left these shoes on, because these are not very old, folks. But we got brand new ones. We're in here anyway. Put the new shoes on so we know exactly what we're pushing to the next person. Let's go through adjusting these, and then we're gonna do fronts. But you gotta run your threaded shaft through there, and then we just have a series of about 2 or 3 of the correct shaped washers on here, and then we'll put our lock nut. Oopsie, come here. There we go. Then our nylock nut. Okay, and we'll take our vice grip and go here, and we'll take our going up to our pedal. This doesn't have a hand brake and a foot brake. I think we can get her some more there. Get close. Let's do a little more here. We'll fine tune this once we get her on the ground. So now you can see with this arm repositioned on the old splined shaft there, we've got all this to wear out before, you know, we get too excited about doing brakes again. We've got just where we want it, just a little bit of drag on this. We'll ride it a little bit, but yeah, you know, before our adjuster was up in here. So we're in pretty good shape. Let's get the back down and we'll put the fronts up in the air, and you know, we'll finish this up. Okay, I can't. I'm starting. Dang it. Darn rocks on the floor. I'm starting to wonder if I didn't put all brakes on this not too long ago and they didn't just need a little adjustment everywhere. But we've got them, so let's check a front here. Like I said, I'm wondering if we aren't going to find pretty new brake pads the more I start to think, and my head hurts less. We may have already done all this. And now Jalen wants to go to Arkansas and buy stuff. That's not happening. Yep, new cotter key. We are gonna find brand new brakes in here. Golly, you guys. Maybe a guy should, you know, start keeping track of stuff like that. Yep, pretty much new brakes. Oh, you're killing me. What do we got here? We do have new springs. Let's go ahead. We're in here. Let's just do it. That way I can say, you know, without, you know, keeping myself up at night that the brakes are brand new. We're just gonna do it right here. Again, taco these bad rides out. They come right off. We're just gonna blow this off with a little air. It's still clean from the last time, from crying out loud. Yeah, maybe we'll get a little brake cleaner right there. Just a rag. Wipe off the spindle a little bit. Otherwise, life is really good. That looks great. And we're gonna throw the ones on that have new springs, because we can. And it's the right thing to do. That side. Oh gosh, maybe we'll go round side first. There. And that is all there is to installing the new brakes. Now this is cammed a little bit, so I'm up here on the handlebars, screwing these in just a little more. That should get us there. Drum looks great. Seals all look good. I must have done seals on this too. Oh yeah, we're all right. It's gonna be okay. Okay, so hub's on. We did a little bit of adjustment up here. I think we're happy with that. And yeah. Throw your washer. There's these bearings in here, of course, are sealed bearings, so there's no packing, nothing like that. Throw the castle nut back on. Goes like that. There. That's brakes on the front, guys and gals. Not difficult. Probably the toughest part is these boots get old and a little weathered. Hard. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and not bore you with any more time lapse or whatever. And yeah, in the meantime, we're gonna put a little bit of distilled water in the battery if it needs it, and put that on about a 300 amp charge to see if we can wake it up. And then we'll see what she runs like. It's the next day. I was in the house last night editing some of the video for this little Suzuki LT80, and you know, I just didn't do a great job of explaining to y'all exactly about the adjustables on these brakes. We're gonna go over that now. On the rears, okay, there is no adjustmentation at the pedal end. There's adjustability here, which is good right now. And then again, like I said, this is splined, and you can notch this arm back to get you back into your, you know, happy place in adjustables. And what that does is that allows you to, all these adjustables here, to use all that up, so you don't have to do what I did and say, I can't remember when the last time we had the shoes off of here, let's go ahead and order some and put them on. So we basically took off near new shoes and put on brand new shoes, but we took the extra time to make sure the adjustment is just right. That's the rears. On the fronts, and this is all back together now. First of all, up here, this is going to be where, when you're out on the trails and you're jamming and you're having fun and your brakes start to go a little soft, you can adjust here. It's easy, it's on the fly. You can continue with your day or weekend of fun having without really, you know, bringing everybody down by tearing stuff apart. There are also adjustables. Here, I'm gonna get the light down here. Here, at the bottom end of the cable, it's also threaded, and it has a crown nut on it inside of the arm. So you can adjust here. On this side, previous to us owning it, the little crown nut disappeared, so we have this side shimmed out with a nylock nut that'll serve the same purpose. And then back over here, option number C is the actuator shaft for the drum brakes in the front is also splined, and you can take this arm off as well. And if you need to clock it to get to where your adjustables are happy, you can. We ended up doing that. We clocked each one of these arms one notch counterclockwise, and that gets us at the beginnings of our adjustabilities here and the beginnings of the adjustabilities here. So in theory, through the life of these front brakes now, they are set up, just a little bit of drag on each wheel. They are set up so as they wear in, you can first go here if you're in the middle of a day having fun and adjust them there. Then at the end of your day or weekend of fun, you can screw these back in and then come down here and adjustimate these so that your next weekend of fun, you're back where you started, and the minute, smallish adjustments will again come from here. So going back and forth, you can manage your brake shoe wear a lot better and be happier for a lot longer. So that's a little better understanding than you probably had yesterday. And now we are all together. We had the battery on the charger last night for a while. We're gonna throw the battery in and let her rip. Shop Dog Mackey's hanging out. Well, you know, buddy, how are you? You're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, it's a nice day. Anyway, we got to fine tune the brakes on this bad ride now. How do we do that, you say? Yeah, we're gonna ride it prepare for big guy on little quad.
Here we go. Ah, yeah. Park brake off. Thing runs great. Brake check.
I'm gonna call that a success. New brakes all the way around, running like a champ. We're gonna clean this sucker up, give the little power washer action, you know, detail her out just a little bit, shine her back up. So the next video you see of this thing will be the official for sale video, so watch for that next. If you're not subscribed, we'd really appreciate it if you were. Click the bell, that way you'll get notified of our next videos when they come out, and hit the like button. Comment down below. We love reading the comments and responding to them, but this kind of stuff, it brings the inner 14-year-old right out of you. We're gonna lock her up for today. We got a track meet to go to. Appreciate every single one of you watching our stuff. Have a good one. We'll catch you on the next video.